Welcome back, everyone. Mike McConville here again, Stratford, Ontario, Canada, for String Tech Workstations. We have another Tele here. I suppose you could call it a kit. And I will get into all the details, the Babicz bridge, the tone rider pickups, the EVO frets, the scalloped fingerboard, etc., etc. But we're going to start with the tuning check. Now I have a little piece of foam stuck in low density foam just so there's no sympathetic vibration from the other strings. So here we go. On this side to just stop that low E from ringing sympathetically. Okay, so the A is free to vibrate. Over again, our little piece of foam. All the other 5 strings are ever so slightly muted. And here's the D. Good. 3 out of 6. Here's the G. There's the B. Finally, our first string. There were so many different things this guitar needed. Well, we may as well start at the top. So first of all, the customer shipped this guitar from Dubai. Originally, it was purchased from a luthier. I don't know if he purchased it in Brazil or ordered it from a luthier from Brazil. I didn't put that string tree on there. It was on there already. Anyway, that's the luthier's label. So it arrived with a set of these ratio tuners, locking ratio gold tuners. The frets that were in it were stainless steel, but the fret work was pretty rough. It was like razors along the edge of the fingerboard. So all of the frets were removed, and I loaded that Brazilian rosewood fingerboard just slightly. Recently had a couple of people asking, why would you do that when you're leveling a fingerboard? Well, this is a good example. So the 9 to 42 strings do not generate a lot of load. There's a custom shop Strat, beautiful Strat, left-handed, that was shipped up from Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, and it had a similar issue where the 9 to 42 strings were not enough to pull the neck even straight. It was in a slight back bow. Luckily, that customer uses a little bit heavier gauge of string. You know, we squeak through with that one. It'll be 100% when we're all done. Anyway, back to this guitar. So I loaded that truss rod and straightened the neck as straight as I could possibly get it, and installed the EVO 51-100 frets, 51 thou high, 100 wide. So those top frets were scalloped when it came in, and there was a chunk missing from the fingerboard, this piece right here. So I ended up kind of building it up from underneath with rosewood, and I had a little tiny piece of cocobolo, which just turned out to be a perfect match for this Brazilian rosewood, so you'd never know anything ever happened. So after the fret installation, these EVO frets, then the final touch-up was done. And the final leveling, light recrown and polish was done to be able to get the action down nice and slick. The 9 to 42 strings are pretty sloppy, so you can only get so close with those. The customer actually sent a set of these tone rider pickups, which are beautiful. I just finished wiring them in. We're going to go into the studio, plug it in, and really let you hear it. But I want to bring you in to show you this Babicz full contact bridge. It's quite a feat of engineering, actually. As per usual, there's a bit of re-engineering. that had to be done to get this thing to work. The way these bridges are designed, there's 3 threaded indexing holes for the bridge saddle so they can move back and forth. But the problem is, for the top 2 strings, they needed to go to the forward hole in order to be able to get enough travel for the 2 top strings to intonate. The springs and fasteners for those 2 saddles were too short. So luckily, the way this bridge is designed, it's actually bolted down with a hex fastener and a little nylon washer underneath. You know, you would think at this level of engineering, and hopefully the customer can get hold of Babicz and get some longer threaded fasteners and longer springs to be able to install those as well. You can see there's none in here. I had to take them out. They weren't working. All of these fasteners are just on the edge of being completely unscrewed. Really, what the customer needs is the exact same threaded fastener, gold. Hopefully Babicz has that and can supply that for them. About a 1/4 inch longer than the ones that we have here, or at least 1/8 of an inch longer than the ones that we have here. I want to take a minute and explain this bridge and how it works. So on the back of each of the saddles there are 2 set screws. The screw on the right-hand side operates a cam mechanism. As you tighten it, the string lifts. It's an off-center cam. And once you get it into place, then the screw on the left-hand side just kind of sets it there, tightens it down. Okay, there we go. This screw here is adjusted on the lower side of the saddle. And as I tighten that, it rotates this cam and raises the string. And as I loosen it off, the cam rotates this way and the string drops down. And of course it was set up for the proper radius for the fingerboard. And to adjust the intonation, it is like a typical Strat, where you tighten it, you pull the saddle back, you loosen it, the saddle goes forward. Now once the saddle's in place, these hex head fasteners with a nylon washer are snugged down to hold it in place. It's quite ingenious and quite the feat of engineering, but we need some longer screws for these top 2 saddles. Hopefully they can supply those for the customer. Now to get that pickup to fit, I had to skim route that pickup cavity to get even this cavity here. I had to deepen the cavity in order to make enough room for the switch and the wiring. So, you know, I mean, it's kind of one thing after the other. This isn't a kit guitar, but it's kind of a one-off guitar. I spent more time retrofitting than just about anything else. Most important thing, it's done, and we're going to go plug it in and let you really hear it. So here is the final call on this Tele that I'm just getting ready to ship back to Dubai. Got that beautiful Brazilian rosewood fingerboard, been refretted with EVO frets. That is where we ended up with the compensated nut. This is 9 to 42 at concert pitch. And that is our Babicz full contact bridge with the missing screws. As I explained earlier in the video, works perfectly fine. This is the 4-way switch. We got the gold plate. The customer, yes, will have to switch over those knobs to gold. I just couldn't seem to source any here in time for shipping. And this is the set of the Tone Rider pickups. Next position. Next position. I have a progression that I've looped, and this is the progression. This is a four-way switch, so that's the second position. Position. And then this is just the neck pickup. I'll blow over that first just with a sort of clean sound, and I'll go through all the pickup positions, so starting with the bridge. Second position. Third position. Neck pickup. So I got this Boss ME25 that was gifted to me last year, and definitely putting this thing to use. Pretty well a Tele straight up kind of guy. It's been nice to have this. This is what they're referring to as the crunch sound out of the sound library. And we're going to let that play again. And I'll blow over it again now with this crunch sound. That was the bridge. Next position. Next position. Next position.